Hi, and a very good welcome to you all, and good afternoon. It's Gene from Maverickstar Observatory. I want to show you something you're not going to see on mainstream media, and you certainly aren't going to see on any other channel on YouTube. And I think it spells out very clearly where we're going and what's going to happen next. Before we get into this video, I just want to say, guys, we really need to improve the level of funding that we're getting here, because there is loads and loads of people that simply are not funding it. And there are just a few people, as always, that seem to go that little bit extra, and that extra mile makes a big difference every time for our observatory. We are looking at going back into the red again and increasing our deficit when we was trying to clear it off. And for the last few days, I've not done any videos on YouTube, but I've been thinking, what else can we do here with this? This is a poor business model, and what do we need to do to improve it? And the only thing I can say is that it needs more people coming forward and pledging a little bit of support for it. And why wouldn't they? Is what really is at the back of my mind. What is stopping people supporting this research that we do? We are a legitimate observatory. We have bespoke equipment, and we have equipment in other parts of the world, and we're soon going to be in Russia, Brazil, South Africa, monitoring every aspect of what we can do here on the budget level, which is, as you guys know, I always stretch the budget, and get usually the biggest bang for the cash that we raise on this channel. But if we want to carry on with this, the funding needs to improve. I just want to say a big thank you to Damien Phillips, because he really saved our skin this month. Absolutely saved our skin. And I'm sure lots of you out there, like myself, are going to be pleased that there are people like this, but we need more superstars. We really do. Okay, there's a link down there if you want to help support us, and keep what we're doing going. There's the link there. Use it. I know it takes a bit of time and effort, but you know what, guys? Imagine the effort I'm putting in every day. This is taking chunks out of my life as well. So I know there's a process before you donate. We just have to bite the bullet sometimes and do it. I'm hoping that I can encourage a few more people to support what we're doing. I hate having to even mention this. It should be common sense to a lot of people that this event that we're going through hasn't been documented ever by humans, because we've never gone through a completed magnetic reversal on this planet. So with that, the link is down there. Please help support what we do, and we can keep it coming. Okay, we're looking at the Milankovitch cycle, and you can see the blue line on the right hand side, and that's the difference in the orbital change every 100,000 years. This is what causes our glacial and interglacial cycles, as we're going to see on the next map. So you can see on this chart there is 6 peaks where it peaks above 0 degrees. I've drawn the black line there for you. I've also drawn a little green line every time we go into a glacial period, and there's also a purple line which indicates interglacial periods. Point is this, is that we generally spend more time in interglacial periods than we do into glacial periods. We spend more time in glacial periods than we do in interglacial periods. You can see around, on average, around about 12,000 years, and we've cooked it. We go back into a glacial period. Now, can you imagine if we went back into a glacial period tomorrow, how the cities around the world would survive? How would the living in the northern hemisphere survive? How would they get the crops they need to feed those people in their countries? There's never been so many people on our planet today, and we've never been such at threat as what we are facing right now. And we are definitely going back into this glacial period, and you can see we have overrun and overshot our time when you look at 0 on this map in front of you. So we're probably already 6,000 years into the next glacial period, and we don't know how fast that can change, but we can tell you this right now, unlike mainstream news medias wouldn't want to tell you, is that, you know, the ice caps have already started to rebound. 2021 and I believe 2022 is going to be exactly the same. We are going to see massive amounts of ice forming over the northern and southern hemisphere, more than we ever have witnessed, and mainstream media aren't going to tell you about it. And we're already 6,000 years into the cycle, into the the glacial period. We're already going into that right now. The warm days are gone. The northern hemisphere has seen the only break it gets in 100,000 years, and now it's going to go cold. You know, we're going to face so many changes in the coming years. It's going to be like we're living on a different planet over the northern hemisphere and over the southern hemisphere as well. And there is no doubts about it. It is happening. Just as we see the repeated cycle of interglacial periods on this chart, where it stays moderately warm for 12,000 years and then goes back into an ice planet, basically. We are going to see it come again. It's just a matter of time. Now, I said I was going to show you something that mainstream media aren't going to show you, and it's to do with geomechanics and temperature. And I think you're going to agree with me. And you know, you ain't going to get this anywhere else. Nobody else is making this connection. It's so obvious, but you know, so understated as well. I can't emphasize it enough. But what I'm about to show you is no coincidence. Bear with me. Now, I know some of you will know exactly what you're looking at, but before I tell everybody what we're looking at, I just want to say, isn't it remarkably clear that both images on the left and on the right look the same, only different colours? The reason why they're different colours is because the one on the left is measuring sub-zero temperatures over the northern and southern hemisphere. Those are the ones in blue, light blue and purple. And on the right we've got nanoteslas. Over in Russia, 60,000 nanoteslas. In Canada, 55,000 nanoteslas. Creeping up on the peninsula of Australia, 55,000 nanoteslas. And then over towards the Falkland Islands, you know, we have around about the same again, 50 to 55,000 nanoteslas. But if you look in the coldest regions of our planet on the left hand chart and compare it to the ones on the right hand chart, you will see there is a very clear indication showing us that magnetism obviously plays a part in temperature. It should come as no surprise to any of us that over the northern hemisphere we have 3 major anomalies, and over the southern hemisphere likewise. Those are Arctic conditions, magnetic dipoles and rotational axis. And we are seeing, as things go cooler over the northern hemisphere, an increase in one particular part over Russia getting much cooler. So, you know, it shouldn't come as a surprise when I say that as the magnetic poles migrate, they take along with it the Arctic climate. And I'm just hoping that we don't find out that that third anomaly doesn't follow suit. Because if it does, you know, the rotational axis of our planet will shift. And Einstein spent a lot of time in trying to figure out how this happened. You know, you've got lots of stories hidden in biblical texts that go back thousands of years, 8,000 years, where the sun was up in the sky for 2 days and the other half of the earth stood in darkness for 2 days. If the rotational axis shifts, it will alter the super bulge of oceans around the equatorial region dramatically. And if that is the case, we will see the coastlines of the continents that we've got today shift likewise. But even if the rotation axis doesn't shift, it is enough to know that magnetism on our Earth over the northern and southern hemisphere is regulating the climate in those regions. And as we see in front of us right now, that is evident as far as I'm concerned. You're not going to get NASA talking about this. You're not going to see this on your mainstream media, and you certainly aren't going to get those lucky YouTubers that just cherry pick the data for you and present it to you mention what I've just mentioned in this video. I'm showing you really what is going on in our world. I just want to say this to you before I end this video. What do you think is going to happen when we reach those weak field lines around the 40-degree mark next March? When there is a rapid movement of the magnetic North Pole, what do you think is going to happen to the climate during that point in time? When you look at these two charts, magnetism and temperature, what do you think is going to happen as that pole rapidly moves over the northern hemisphere? I think you will agree with me, it's going to take that Arctic climate with it. And, you know, our world is going to look something like we've never witnessed before. You know, I've given you a good reason to support what we do here, because what I've presented in this video is nothing but the facts. This is happening and this is going to take place. It's just a matter of time, and that is without including anything else that is going on in our daily lives already, with global economics, you know, pandemics, etc., etc. This is the freight train that can't stop before it hits and causes a collision. Guys, link down there in the description. Please support what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep you informed of some real changes that are coming your way, and there's nobody else out there talking about them in the same light as what we are at the maverickstar Observatory. Guys, take care of your loved ones as always. Bye for now.